Hi friends, welcome on Yourpedia, and this video is related to the first question bank and theory also for industrial engineering, which is a part of your mechanical engineering exam of Bharat Electronics Ltd. BEL has come out with the bumper number of seats for mechanical engineers, so 150 seats are really good. Industrial engineering is important subjects, theoretical subjects, easy to score subject, but yes, difficult to prepare because there are so many theoretical concepts and practical related concepts, industry related concepts. You need to visualize the things, and there are small topics which students sometimes find difficult, so if all the content is provided to you in a very simple way and all the things which you have to prepare for exam are provided at one place, then preparation will become very easy. I'll complete this entire industrial engineering for your exam of BEL in two videos. So that is question bank number 1 and question bank number 2. So this question bank, each question bank will have 100 questions, which some questions are directly related to previous year's questions of the BEL exam and expected questions. Remember one thing friends, BEL exam, written exam is different from GATE exam. And for that matter, every exam has certain difference, and if you really want to score good, then the preparation should be tailor made for particular exam. Even if there is a difference even between HPCL is a public sector, BEL is a public sector, BHEL is a public sector, ONGC is a public sector, similarly Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, ISRO, they are different. So every exam, every public sector or every organization has its own pattern, and you need to understand that pattern, and they focus on the basis of their previous year's question papers. They focus on particular part, their paper setting team or something, they obviously refer their previous year's paper, the patterns, and then accordingly ask you question. So whenever you are preparing for some exam, please make it please understand, you need to prepare for that particular organization. You cannot make the preparation combined. If somebody is telling you, okay, here is the content, prepare it for HPCL, ONGC, BEL, ISRO same or GATE same. No, I beg to differ friends. There is going to be difference because how much you stress on particular topic, that is going to be different. So anyhow, this my 125 to 150 pages document for industrial engineering that will really help you for this exam. You will understand it. So watch this video in totality and prepare well with Yourpedia, and Yourpedia is a platform which is famous for tailor-made modules, and we do the justice with any module which we launch. We do the justice, and in case you are serious friends for these exams, you can blindly prepare with Yourpedia. It will be a value for your money and a value for your time which you invest with us, and you will prepare very nicely. So let's start now. My today's video, as I told you, this is our dedicated module for mechanical engineering, and this is for this particular exam of BEL, which is declared in 2025, and there are 150 seats. So wonderful opportunity for all of you friends, and my today's video is related to industrial engineering. This is the question bank number 1 for industrial engineering, and we will be covering 100 plus questions in this first video, first question bank for this industrial engineering, and we'll cover the topics also. So I'll be covering these topics. I have made a table for you, and this topic, this table is the topics of industrial engineering which are asked in BEL. On the basis of the previous year's analysis, we could identify these are the topics from where question will be asked. And now these topics, left side, all the topics which are marked in red, they will be covered in this question bank number 1 video, and these topics will be covered in video number 2. I'm giving you question, and after the question I'm giving you detailed theory. So once you understand the question, you need to read the theory, and after that your this topic will be ready. So let us start friends. Production planning and scheduling में ERP, MRP, this particular topics. Let me cover the questions for this first and theory for this, and then we go for inventory. What do you mean by ERP, MRP, master production schedule, bill of material, plant order schedule, production planning control, etc.? What is the meaning of that? Production means to produce something, which is also called sometimes manufacturing. Though manufacturing are processes, casting, welding, this thing, they are manufacturing processes. Production is like rate of making something, that is a production. You make a pen, you make 100 pen per day, that is a production. So when it comes to production, then there is an entire scheme, there is an entire way to produce something. You need to first get a raw material, and then you need to take that raw material to the machines. You need to do a couple of machining operations on that. Then you need to get a finished product, and then you have to pack that, and then you have to sell it. Now getting raw material, holding it, and then doing machining, making a schedule for machining, one machine, then another machine, then another machine, who will work on which machine, then finished product, then we have to supply it to the market. This entire thing is called production, planning and scheduling. Production is to produce something, but whenever you have to produce things in number like 100, 200, 1000, you need to make a plan. Without planning, your resources will not be utilized properly. Why do you make plan? You make plan because in any industry the resources are limited, and if you are wasting the resource, you cannot earn profit. What kind of resources we have? Manpower resource, employees, workers is the most important resource. Then comes material, then comes machine. Money obviously is one of the resources. So machines in the workshop, machines in the production shop are important resource. And then material, raw material, how much you are using, because purchasing raw material, holding raw material, which we will study in the inventory, is also important. So this entire thing is production, planning of the production, and scheduling. Scheduling, timetable. I mean, at what time what thing is to be done, after what time what thing is to be focused, that is called scheduling. Scheduling is timetable. Planning is you are planning something, right? I am planning to clear this exam, so I will cover this much thing, and then after planning comes scheduling. I mean, day wise, today at 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock this machine and this worker will be producing these many items, that is scheduling. So we will discuss master production schedule, master big production schedule, timetable. Planning is like just before scheduling. Okay, how many items do we want to produce, from where we will take the raw material, that is a planning phase, scheduling, and then implementation or production. So first comes planning, then comes scheduling, who will do what at what machine at what time, timetable, that is a scheduling, and then production starts, production, planning and scheduling. ERP, MRP, enterprise resource planning, material requirement planning. Enterprise resource planning and material requirement planning are nothing but their software. MRP, ERP are software. Sometimes they are used on the platforms like SAP and all. So ERP is broad term, material requirement planning is a narrow term. Both are integrated. In fact, this your master schedule, master production schedule, bill of material, planned order schedule, they are also related to your ERP and MRP only. So E stands for enterprise, organization, the company. Enterprise resource, I told you the kind of resource, human resource, then material, then machines, planning. I mean, I want to use my resources in a meticulous way. I want to use my resources properly. For that there is a software. Now if software is that, computer will do that activity for you easily, because human being has a mind capabilities, right? Computers help us. Computers will tell, okay, how many people are engaged, where they are engaged, today which fellow is available, okay, how many people do we require for this activity, how many people do we have, how many machines do we have. So entire information of the organization under different verticals is kept at one center database, and that is shared with everyone. There is a HR department, there is a production department, there is some another department, finance department. So every department in the organization is connected and the information flow is there. So if every department is connected and the information can flow from one department to another, and data is collectively shared, then entire planning becomes very easy. That is called enterprise resource planning. Enterprise, organization, resources of organization, planning. Let's plan our resources properly. Material requirement planning is like how much material is required for production. So MRP is material. Material means production. So that is only related to production kind of thing. But ERP is far bigger than that. Finance also comes in ERP. Finance does not come in MRP. Master production schedule. So there is production term. Again, when production is to start, master, big production. How many items do you want to produce today? Sir, 100. What is the material required for that? This much. So when do you want to produce it? At what time you want to produce it? So how many to produce, what to produce, when to produce. That is master production schedule. And bill of material is nothing but specification of the items which you are producing. Bill of material. How much material is required, what is the cost of this, what is the specification of this, that is bill of material. And planned order schedule is, okay, now I am planning the entire thing which I want to purchase or I want to release. So I want to order now, so that supplier starts sending me the material, and now I know I want to produce 100 material. So procurement order place karna hai, order schedule. So order means to purchase something. Let's release order so that we get it and we start the production. These are the terminologies which we are going to discuss. Now let's start some questions, and from there I'll discuss you these things again in one by one. So let's this our module is question and then theory, question and then theory. What is core function of enterprise resource planning? ERP system ka core function kya hai? So only you have to do is you have to read these answer choices first and then give the answer. So what is the core function of enterprise resource planning? So that is to integrate various business functions within an organization. As I told you, integration is very, very important. So enterprise resource planning. So resource are in different business domains. So we have to integrate various functions. Integrate what? Finance, HR, production, sales, sometime marketing, but marketing के लिए dedicated domain होता है. So we need to integrate all these things. So suppose there are different organization in the different departments in an organization. So let's link all these together. So there is a linkage between the departments. So there is a flow of information. Department 1, 2, 3, 4 information flow is there. Integration is there. So integration of various functions within the organization so that everything becomes effective. So integration, finance, human resource, production, that is the software which integrates every department. Typically, which module you don't have? Marketing. So marketing we keep separate because marketing is entirely different. But nowadays even ERP mein marketing input also is coming, because we talk about concurrent engineering. Concurrent engineering means simultaneous engineering. That means the manager who is on production shop, production manager, is actually getting the input of marketing manager. Like marketing manager is telling what customer needs to the production manager. Accordingly, he will put the aesthetics. So even marketing is today's integrated into this. So no doubt ERP has marketing also, but out of these four, if one is to be removed, I'll remove marketing. Finance is a part, HR is a part, customer relation management is basically a part of that. Customer relation is very, very important department. There is a PR department, customer relation department. So these all are related to that. So software applications are there to link this. What is the benefit of ERP? When you get real-time data access, how do you decide anything? How do you make any decision? The best advantage of data analytics and data science is to take the appropriate decision. On the basis of the data which we get, we can take right decision. That is the best part about this getting that data. So different departments, and ERP is a software where a lot of data we are getting, and on the basis of that data we can take a decision. So integrating the data across all the departments, all departments are integrated. ERP provides the holistic view of business, and better decision can be taken. So if I show you my nose, only one nose cut, ears cut, eyes, only small part, you may not be in position to recognize the face. But if I put all the things together, it will make more sense. Similarly, in the organization, if I give you the data of only one department, it does not tell you more about the organization. But if I give you the data and information about all the departments, department A, B, C, D in the organization, it will give you a holistic picture about the organization, and that is what ERP does. So now what is on the basis of these questions? Now what is ERP? It is a software system which organization uses for running day-to-day business. Accounting, procurement, project management, risk management, compliance, every department is connected through a software. That is ERP. And SAP is a company which actually makes this kind of software, and there are other Oracle, SAP, these companies are there. So what are the key features of ERP system? If exam mein question comes, what are the typical feature? Number one, various business processes and departments in the organization are connected, integrated rather, So production, sales, human resource, finance are integrated. So there is a flow of data between these departments. So this integration and then centralized database, obviously centralized database means entire information is to be stored at one particular place. That central place पे हमें सारा data को store करना है. और centralized database, why centralized database is required? Because it ensures that all departments have access to this information. That means everyone can access this information. So the information will come from all the departments to the center data, and from center data every department can see the information, and that will help them to make a right decision. Real time data access. Real time data means day to day data, whatever data is coming, updated data, you are getting it. Like suppose what is the latest update, that latest update gets included in the data, and then you can make a right decision on the basis of that. Improved decision making is the best part about ERP. And informed decision, to make the informed decision ERP is used. And then increased efficiency, obviously efficiency will increase, and reporting and analytical ability capabilities gets improved, and key performance indicators can be identified by the organizations, and that eventually helps to run entire thing very effectively. So what are the common ERP modules? ERP, as I told you, is a software, and there are various modules in ERP. There are so many departments, and for every department ERP can offer different module. Like there is a module for finance management. Now the module which finance department is using may not be used by HR department, may not be used by marketing department. So different departments are using different modules. So financial management, finance department is using different module. Human resource management is using different module like payroll, employee record, benefits and recruitment. So HR department is using those modules. Supply chain management is using different modules of procurement and inventory management. Customer relation management is using different module. Project management is a different module. So this entire verticals are based upon different modules are being used. Entire thing is ERP. Now the requirement of HR department may be different from the requirement of finance department, and hence there are different modules, but all are integrated and related. What is the benefit of ERP? So direct question in the exam can come, what are the benefits of ERP? So efficiency and productivity, decision making gets improved, reduced cost. In the beginning when you use ERP, you may be purchasing ERP software, obviously it will cost you something, but in the long run and in the middle time scale, you start getting benefit. So because efficiency is there and wastage is minimized, and you start doing everything very meticulous way, so this particular overall the cost gets reduced, and you are running the entire thing very effectively. So customer satisfaction gets improved, and there is a better compliance with the regulations. So overall organization starts performing very nicely. What are the challenges to implement ERP system? Initial cost may be high, implementation may be difficult in the beginning. People need to get well versed with use. तो लोगों को पता होना चाहिए how to use the ERP software. People should know that. And in the sometime there is a disruption in the business, because whenever you bring a change in doing something, like you purchase a new car, you were running your old car, now you take a new car, it may take couple of days for you to adapt to the new car. Does not mean new car is not good. New car is good because it will make your traveling very efficient. It's a new. So old car was having trouble, but you were well versed with the old car. So you become habitual of old car. Now you got a new car. Similarly, when you change anything in your organization, even for betterment, it takes some time. So that problem can come in the beginning. Now what is MRP? What is the full form of MRP? ERP, R in the ERP and R in the MRP are different. There it is enterprise resource planning. Here it is a requirement, material requirement. So you understand this is more or less related to material department, and material manager will be dealing with MRP. So what is the primary objective of MRP? Overall production schedule, optimizing overall production schedule. So basically how many numbers of products or parts are to be produced, and when they should be when you are to when the order should be placed, and what is the finished good requirement. So when you talk about material, then there are a couple of things which you need to know. Material, here it starts with the raw material, raw to finished product, it is all material with you. So you took a raw material and then you gave finished product. So raw material to finished product, there is a production going on, so you need to deal with the production people also. And because you have to acquire material, you need to handle what is called as inventory. You need to purchase the material and you need to keep it with you. So when it comes to the purchasing, then that is called procurement. So you need to purchase, that is called procurement, and you purchase it from some supplier or something. So you need to deal with the supplier and vendor, So typically as a material manager who is sitting on MRP and handling entire MRP activities, typical material manager is dealing with vendors and supplier. He's managing the vendors. So there is a vendor management system, supplier management system. You have to handle your vendors and supplier. You have to bargain or negotiate them for the cost. You need to purchase the raw material. You need to keep the finished products with you. So you need to handle the inventory. You need to purchase, so procurement. But before you purchase something, you need to release the order. So order is a term which is actually there. So order, procurement, inventory, this production lines, all these things are related to material requirement planning. So what to produce, how much you want to produce, and for that how much raw material is required, and how much is to place the order, when to release order, all these things is this. So this entire is production schedule. So the term production schedule here is, when do you want finished product, how much finished product do you want, when it is to be released. Okay, so what is not the key input for material requirement planning? Master production schedule, bill of material, inventory record, these all are required for MRP. As I told you, as material manager you will be dealing with this. As material manager in the MRP is the software which you use as a material manager. ERP, I mean every department is using ERP, but MRP is material manager. So material manager is requiring the input he is taking from master production schedule, from bill of material, from inventory record, that is what he is taking. He is least concerned with customer satisfaction data, that is basically PR department or some another department will look into that, marketing department or something, but here you are talking about this. So customer feedback is important, but you are not directly taking it, some another department is obviously taking it. What is material requirement planning now? This is the theory for you friends. We have already discussed what is MRP, but this is a theory for you. So it is a computer based inventory management system, and it is to calculate exact number of parts which is required and when they should be ordered or produced to meet the demand. That is basically a software which actually manages the inventory. So it is the inventory management system, and how many parts do you need, when do you need these parts. Parts means output or production or product. So when do you need it, when it should be produced, and what is the demand, so that everything is MRP. Key components are master production schedule. Master production schedule basically is kickstarts every activity in the MRP. It is a production plan, master production schedule for finished product. So quantity and timing. So it will tell you master because it is very much in detail. Totality, production, what you want to produce, schedule is timetable, what to produce, which item is to produce, how many means quantity, when do you want to produce, when. I require 100 items today of item number A. I require item number A, 100 number of item number A by today. Okay, number 100. Which item, which product? A. By what time? Today. So that gives master production schedule. Now entire schedule is to be made. How the production will start? How many machines we have? 5. Every machine can give you how much? 20. How many hours one machine can run? 8 hours. So okay, let's start it at 9 o'clock, 12, give a rest of half an hour, 12:32, something like that. So entire schedule is to be made, that is called master production schedule. Bill of material. Now this is again material. Bill of material. Bill means it has two things. Number one, quantity, cost, specification. So these things are mentioned. How many we want? Quantity. What is the cost of this? Specification. And obviously material also. What material you want to produce. So when you want to produce something, product A, master production schedule is not talking about the material, not talking about the specification. It is only saying I want item number A, 100 in number. Now item number A, if you want to produce, let's say item number A is a chair. For making one chair, how much wood is required? Wood is a material. How many nails are required to fix it up? How much Fevicol is required? How much paint is required? I mean, all the things, right? So for making one product, how many things are required? What is the cost of that? That entire thing is bill of material. That is a document. Specific components, assemblies, raw material, everything is written. Inventory record is how much we have presently and how much is required. So lead time and everything we will be discussing. That is called inventory. So key components of MRP are this. How it works? First you identify what is the demand forecast, how much we need, then production schedule, then on the basis of the demand. So this order is very important. Exam order can also come. What is the order of activities? First we need to forecast the demand. Okay, 100 items. Then we need to make, the master production schedule. Okay, for 100 items, when do we want, at what time you want. So 100 items, that demand forecast will tell you. Then production schedule. Okay, we want to produce this much. Then we say, okay, material requirement, MRP. Material requirement may we generate purchase order. Okay, let's purchase it now and schedule the production. Then we start scheduling and then we start making the production schedule. This is how the order is actually between various activities. Benefit of MRP is obviously inventory cost is reduced if you go systematically. MRP here he is talking about now doing everything meticulously through some kind of software. So benefit of MRP is obviously you are handling the inventory very effectively, minimize the holding cost and reduce the risk of stock out. So inventory is like you are holding something, you are keeping things in with you, stock, you are keeping a stock with you. If you keep stock, then holding cost will increase. If stock is not there, production will stop and then there will be stock out. Stock out means customer will not get the his required order which he has placed. So stock out situation should not be there. Holding cost should also not be very high. So you have to make a balance. Production planning gets improved, customer service gets improved, efficiency gets improved. So MRP, ERP, all advantages you have seen. These are the advantages. So what are the limitations? Okay, data should be accurate. If data is not accurate, then output will not come. Like computer, what typically computer systems are, garbage in, garbage out. So if you give wrong data, wrong output will only come out. So MRP system is effective as data they are based on should be accurate. Forecast, bill of material, any incorrect information will give you incorrect analysis. Flexibility sometimes can be limited. Focus on internal operations is there on MRP, internal production planning. Like it does not very much depend upon external factors. Like this is happening, COVID can be there. So you are only thinking about how the organization is, because MRP is a department which is internal to the department, right? Now MRP is going into MRP 2, which is called manufacturing resource planning. So material requirement planning. Now MRP 2 is related to manufacturing. So it is from material planning. Now it includes manufacturing, shop floor control, other things also, and then eventually into ERP. ERP is very broad. So material requirement planning, manufacturing requirement, MRP 2 is a manufacturing requirement planning, and then ERP, enterprise resource planning. So this MRP 2 is a material manufacturing resource planning. So it is more broader. So most broader is enterprise resource planning, then MRP 2, then MRP 1. So this is how it is. This is MRP 1, material requirement planning. MRP 2, manufacturing resource planning. ERP, enterprise resource planning. So this is how you need to know the various departments. Now what is purpose of master production schedule? To plan the production of finished good. Yes, master production schedule. Production planning of finished goods, how much quantity, when to produce, so how it is to be done. So master material requirement planning, basically this master production scheduling is the driving force for material requirement planning process, MRP process. The moment you give master production schedule to the material requirement planning, they start finding out how much material do we have and how much we need to purchase. So first you do the demand forecasting, and then you decide that I am to produce 100 items. The moment you say I want to produce 100 items, that is a master production schedule, that this is the items I require and all. After master production schedule goes to then MRP department, that do we have material with us or not, that is MRP, right? So from this is how it goes, which is not a key input for preparing master production schedule. Customer order, yes, how much to produce, that is very important for MRP material master production schedule. Sales forecasting is very important. Inventory level of raw material, that is MRP. Production capacity, yes, that is inventory level of material, that is MRP, material requirement planning. Customer order, sales of this production capacity, I should know what is my production capacity. So master production schedule means how much to produce. So how much to produce, that depends upon the customer order and sales forecasting, demand forecasting. So how much to produce, that actually will be decided on the basis of the demand. Sales forecast means demand. Sales forecasting is also done on the basis of the demand forecasting and on the basis of the customer order. But we should also know how many production facilities do we have. So that master production schedule is basically taking that as input. Inventory obviously is related to it, but inventory ka sara data is with MRP, that later on they can see that. Right now, what is bill of material? How do we know what is a bill of material? Bill of material is the document that will tell raw material, sub-assembly and component which are required to produce the finished product. Bill of material is a detailed structure of the product, calculating all the material which is required for this. So bill of material is very important document for MRP, because MRP material requirement planning can only be done if you know how much material is required, and bill of material will tell everything. This much material of this type, this much material of this type, on the basis of the order which we have got. So first master production schedule document will come, then master production schedule will go to MRP, and then MRP will start making the bill of material, and bill of material will be prepared by MRP, and bill of material will write everything, the requirement of the material, sub assemblies, everything. So that is how it is done. So it is a very important requirement in MRP process. How both are related, master production schedule and bill of material? Basically, bill of material is to calculate material requirement based upon master production schedule. So first MRP will come, or first bill of material will come? I mean, first master production schedule will come, or bill of material will come? First master production schedule will come. First demand forecasting will come, then master production schedule will come, that will go to MRP, and then MRP will make bill of material, and on the basis of the bill of material, purchase order will be released, and then the production will start. This is how this all is related. So what if there is a change in master production schedule, and how the master production schedule will change? Why master production schedule will change? If there is a change in demand, if the demand in the market gets changed, then master production schedule will also change, and if master production schedule will change, then everything else will get changed, right? So everything else will get changed. So this master production schedule will this decide. So if master production schedule gets changed, so everything else will also get changed. Material requirement for production also needs to be adjusted accordingly, right? What is primary purpose of engineering bill of material? Now, bill of material is of two types. There is a manufacturing and engineering bill of material. Manufacturing bill of material and engineering bill of material. There are two kind of bill of material. Manufacturing and engineering. In the engineering, there is a input from the design engineers. All the component specification which design engineer will put. And what is engineering? Manufacturing bill of material. That will actually related to manufacturing. You know what is the design, you know what is the manufacturing. Design is AutoCAD. CAD, CAM, AutoCAD. CAD is AutoCAD, I mean designed thing. But when the actual manufacturing starts, the requirement is different. So design engineer and manufacturing engineer will be having different demands, and these two bill of material are based upon that only. What is not a benefit of using well maintained bill of material? Obviously production cost will not increase, it will decrease. Production cost will decrease, inventory management will improve, product quality will be better, and production delay will be reduced. So what is master production schedule, friends? Master production schedule is component of production planning. So all the planned production of finished product and all these things are properly planned in the master production schedule. That is how it goes. Okay, so what are the key aspect of master production schedule? It should be very, very detailed. I mean, you have to write everything in detail. I mean, specific product, how much you want to produce, and what is the quantity of that, when do you want to produce that, everything is to be written in detail. And it is divided into different time periods, phases, because suppose you have to produce 100 items. You need to produce suppose 100 items because there is a demand for this. There is a demand forecasting for 100 items. Now 100 items cannot be produced in a single week or day. So let us say 1 month. Okay, so 1 week will give you how much? 25 items. Okay, in 1 week, let us say there are 5 working days for you. So 5 items per working day. Okay, let us say machines are working for 8 hours. So per hour 1 machine. So 1 hour you have to fix on 1 machine. So 1 machine producing 5 items, and each machine you have to engage yourself 1 hour, something like that. This is a schedule you are making, right? Capacity constraints, it is not static, it is continuously changing, those things are there. So what is the purpose of this master production schedule? So you have to produce as per the demand, you have to align your production facilities with the demand. Guide material requirement planning. This is a driving force for material requirement planning. Material requirement planning means how much material is required and how much material I am to place order. So master production schedule will be sent to this your material requirement planning MRP department. Master production schedule is sent to MRP department, and then MRP department will raise the bill of materials or something, engineering or design, manufacturing bill of materials, and that is how this all goes. So sales forecasting, customer order, production capacity, inventory levels, these all are the input for master production schedule. Normally inventory levels are the domain of MRP, but sometimes master production schedule also takes care of that. They also see that. What is the benefit of master production schedule? Reduced inventory cost, improved efficiency, these all advantages of that. What do you understand by bill of material? Sir, bill of material is the comprehensive list of raw material, sub-assembly, everything. So it is a recipe. If I ask you, you want to make, let us say, noodles. So what is the recipe of that? Sir, I want this much water, I need this much of masala, this much of something. I think a noodle, a wrong example I took, very less thing, everything is prepared. But let us say I want to make a tea. So tea ke liye how much sugar, how much tea, those powder you have to put, this water, milk, all the combination, recipe. So what is the recipe to make particular product? That is bill of material. So it's a hierarchical structure, friends, bill of material, starting from the finished product. At the top is a finished product, and then keep on dividing it, and then you keep on going to the bottom where there is a raw material. So quantity, material, cost, everything is mentioned there. This is a detailed information. Part number, so this is the information in bill of material typically. How many to produce, what is the quantity, what is the specification, what is the drawing, everything. So not a static document. It is engineering bill of material and manufacturing bill of material. Engineering bill of material means design part. Manufacturing means the actual manufacturing engineer. So if you go to the industry, manufacturing or production engineer will say, this guy has made this design on AutoCAD. He does not know in the actual when you have to make it, you are not getting the same thing. So the production is different from the design. That is what they say. So both the things are there. Bill of material, what are the uses? Production planning, inventory management, costing. So exam question can come. What can be the application of where the bill of material can be used? Okay, for purchasing, yes, when you have to release the purchase order for particular material, bill of material is seen. Engineering change orders, whenever you have to change the product design, whenever you have to make a new design, think of automobile or mobile manufacturing companies. Every couple of months they are changing the design, every year they are changing the design. So when they change the design, entire production line gets changed, so they need to go for different production line. So they have to manage all these things, right? So cost, inventory management, everything is to be changed. So what is the benefit of using bill of material? Efficiency will increase, cost will reduce, quality will improve, everything, you know, better communication. And this is the typical bill of material. If it is visible to you, I don't know it is visible to you friends. So there is a unit cost, there is a item name, there is a consumption, there is a, you know, you write from where you are purchased, how much units, what is the cost, everything is written here, and what is the total amount, that everything is written very meticulously. That is a typical bill of material, right? This is how it is done. Now what is planned order schedule? Planned order schedule किसको बोलते हैं? Planned order schedule, as the name suggests, you have to make a planning for ordering. Now once we have made a bill of material, okay, this is the material required, this is the cost, then what is to be done? Purchase it. Bill of material means I want to purchase this bill, right? I want to purchase this material for starting my production. Now once you have made a bill of material, you have to release a purchase order. So this is basically the order schedule, planned order schedule. So material requirement planning, this entire department is MRP only. So the moment you give you know, this master production schedule, the moment you give master production schedule to material requirement planning, then material requirement planning is only making the bill of material and all these documents. Planned order schedule is a document that will tell what is the production and procurement. Production means I will start making something, procurement means I will start purchasing. Procurement schedule means whatever is mentioned in bill of material, I will purchase that. So for purchasing, I will release purchase order. And proposed production, so I want to produce it now, right? So purpose is to provide the roadmap for purchasing new material for production. How many items, quantity, planned order date, order late, this. So order is to be released, because MRP department also needs to take the permission from finance department or purchase department or procurement department, right? So they have to purchase it. Then, you know, this other like master production schedule is basically this entire thing is under the, as per the master production scheduling only. Based upon master production schedule only, MRP material requirement planning is done, and this everything is taken care of. So what is the benefit of master this planned order schedule? Obviously you will get material in time, so your inventory will be optimized, improve the production planning, and this everything will be done very meticulous way. This is how it all goes. So what is the primary purpose of planned order schedule? This is to outline the proposed production or procurement schedule for specific component, right? So how much is to get and how much is to be produced. What is not in planned order schedule? Item number is there, quantity to be ordered is there, customer order details, no, that is not there. This is input for MRP process, but planned order schedule is more, you know, related to how much components you want and what you want to purchase. How is the master production schedule related to planned order schedule? So master production schedule is the document, holistic document, which tells how much quantity, when you want to deliver, and what is the number of that, when you want to make it, and that everything production, basically entire process. So that goes to MRP, and MRP will then you know, go for this planned order schedule and all. So planned order schedule is created on the basis of MPS only, master production schedule only. That tells about the finished good, and you know, planned order schedule then is prepared on the basis of this. That is how it goes. What happens if there is a change in master production schedule? Obviously everything gets changed. So even planned order schedule gets changed, bill of material gets changed, everything gets changed. So when master production schedule will change, in case there is a change in demand, which you are forecasting if demand gets changed. Order release date, what is the significance of that? The order when you are to purchase something from the supplier, or when the production will start, that is the date. So order release date is the initiation of procurement or production process. Order release date, the moment you say I have released the order, that means okay, now procurement process is kick started, that means I'm going to purchase it now, or the production will start. The moment things are obtained with me, so I can start the production. Okay, next topic is hold this inventory, but let's take one question. What is the primary purpose of holding inventory? To ensure continuous production flow. Inventory is something which you are keeping in stock. Inventories of different types, holding, these are in process inventory, raw material inventory, finished product inventory. And inventory cost you something. Inventory maintain करने के लिए it cost you something to the industry or to the company. So holding cost, I give you a typical example. Suppose you are keeping your things at some place. Think of Amazon. Amazon is a e-commerce company, but it has godowns. Amazon has its own godowns where the things are to be kept, and they are to be kept safe. So if you are keeping something, packaging material and all, it should not get damaged. So holding cost, rent which you are paying, that is an example of holding cost, right? To ensure the continuous production flow, that is the most important thing. I mean, service I am to give to the customer, I am to give service to the customer, so holding cost is a part of inventory. Inventory acts as a buffer so that production continues even if there is a delay in some particular supplier's supply or something. Suppose you have to get something from the supplier, but there is a delay. Even then, if you have inventory, then also things will keep on flowing. That is the meaning of it. Which of the following is not a type of inventory? Yes, customer order is not. I told you raw material, work in process inventory, and finished product. These are the types of inventories we have. What is the primary objective of just-in-time inventory? Just in time. Just in time means I will not keep inventory with me. As some order comes, I will place the order to my supplier and supplier will give it to me and I will make a production. Zero inventory concept. It came from Japan. But in India, it is difficult to maintain just in time because there can be bottleneck, transportation bottleneck. कहीं पे कोई strike हो गया तो supplier आपको दे नहीं पाया, कोई और issue हो गया, supplier could not give you, so your entire production will stop. So just in time can be risky also. Just in time means whatever you want, you get at the exact same time. You are not holding, you are not keeping it with you. So like suppose I am running a shop, tea making shop, I am making tea for the customers, right? So I will order 20 times a day. Okay, as and when I need the milk, you have to supply me the milk, something like that. No, I am not holding it. So that is just in time example. So what is the basically minimize inventory level, zero inventory level. So what is the key principle of just in time? So the key principle is, yes, supplier and your relation should be really good, because if supplier does not supply, then just in time fails. So just in time means as and when I will require, you will give it to me, the raw material or something. So collaborative relationship with the supplier, and also there should not be any kind of bottleneck. Which of the following is not a potential benefit of implementing just in time? So reduced inventory holding cost, good. Increased production flexibility, okay. Increased reliance on supplier, no. Improved quality. Close collaboration with supplier is important, but it does not increase the reliance, right? So if just in time is properly implemented, then supplier and your relationship get consolidated, but it is not going to consolidate your relationship. So now this was the question which was asked from inventory. Now friends, let's understand what actually the inventory is. Okay, so friends, now inventory, as you know, is nothing but when you keep the things in stock, that is called inventory. It can be like raw material, it can be finished product, it can be in process, like one machine, second machine, between the machine, there is a in process inventory. Now there are inventories good or bad, that depends upon the application. So as I told you, types of inventory can be raw material, work in process, finished goods. This all can be inventory. And then there is an inventory of some kind of tools and some kind of devices like maintenance, repair, overhaul inventory. So repair equipments and all, they have to be maintained properly. So this is related to that, like small examples of lubricants, spare parts, all these are the types of inventories. Why it is required? Obviously, if inventory is there, then production will keep on going. Stock out situation will not be there. You will be having production, continuous production, and you will be delivering the things to the customer, and customer satisfaction will be there. Production smoothing. Production smoothing means production will keep on going. Continuous production flow, even if there is some kind of shortage in the supply. So supplier may not supply you, but you have inventory. Sometime companies, if you purchase more thing from company, they will give you discount, though you require 100 items as of now, but if you purchase 200, then they will be cheaper. So you purchase 200 items, so that is you can get bulk discount. Hedge against inflation. So yeah, so in future, if some price may increase of certain things in future, then you keep the hedge against the inflation. That means you want to keep the things in such a way that you are basically purchasing it today, so that tomorrow the price goes up, it does not affect you. What are the effective management inventory management techniques? Minimize the cost. So you have to holding cost and carrying cost, they are the two main cost of inventory, holding cost and carrying cost. So you have to minimize the holding cost and carrying cost combined. Holding cost is storage, insurance, obsolescence, if something goes obsolete. Typical example is a medicine shop pe, pharma shop pe, if you keep lot of medicines, so that if any patient comes, you are having that medicine, but suppose there is a expiry date on that, so after that it will not be of any use. So obsolete ho jana, electronic items obsolete ho jana, new phone has come, now nobody is purchasing the old iPhone, right? So obsolete. So if you keep that with you, lot of stock, it will be of no use. Improve customer satisfaction, obviously that gets improved, production gets optimized. Just in time, I explained you, just in time means zero inventory or minimum inventory level. So you are receiving the supply when it is required. So minimize inventory is just in time. Demand driven production, it is like you will produce as per the demand. You will not produce and keep the product with you. You will only produce if there is a demand. That is called demand driven production. Strong supply relationship is there. Supplier is, you are having very good relation with the vendor and supplier. So as and when you need something, the supplier is providing you. That is the relation you are having. Continuous, you are improving. So the Kaizen which we discussed, continuous improvement. So you are improving the entire system continuously, so that this entire thing gets improved. What is benefit of just in time? Reduced inventory cost. So lowering holding cost, that is there. Quality gets improved. Just in time, to avoid disruption, you need to focus on quality. That is quality simply means like you don't produce the defective items. So when productivity gets increased, enhanced flexibility, so the benefits are more or less same. So the most important benefit of just in time is the cost is reduced of the production, because inventory cost is less. If the cost of the product is less, then obviously value for money to the customer, and customer will be satisfied, and satisfaction of the customer is called quality. So how the quality, how the productivity gets increased, because obviously the cost of everything gets reduced and waste is less, so workflow efficiency will increase. So this all terms are related. What are challenges? You need to rely upon the supplier and his credibility. So flexible production system and responsive supplier should be there. So you need to do a lot of planning and coordination. Disruption should not be there. Typically in case of India, where we see that supplier or vendor may not be that trustworthy, because they have committed you to supply something, but they have not committed when you want it, or disruption can be there. So there are many things you need to focus before you go for just in time. Just in time is a good idea, but it is risky also. Now friends, economic order quantity. So what do we mean by economic order quantity? Let's do question and then let's do the theory. So economic order quantity, what is the objective of that? Total cost of inventory when both ordering and holding cost are there. So what is the minimum cost? So economic order quantity, as the name shows, economic means lowest cost, optimum. So economic is the term which is related to optimum cost. Optimum cost means minimum cost for ordering particular quantity. So let us say this, if you order, the quantity order is more than this or less than this, the cost, so what should be the ordering cost, so that the ordering, or what should be the number of items you purchase, so that the cost is minimum. Holding and carrying cost, there are two costs in the inventory, holding cost and carrying ordering cost, right? So carrying cost or holding cost is the same, and then ordering cost. So how much we should purchase, how many orders we should place so that the cost of inventory is minimum, that is called economic order quantity. Now economic order quantity is to minimize total cost of inventory, where ordering and holding cost, they are two costs. What is the optimum order quantity that minimizes this particular cost, that is called economic order quantity. So economic order quantity model mein what do you consider? Do you consider annual demand? Do you consider ordering cost per order, holding cost per year, or lead time for ordering order the there is a formula of economic order quantity. So there is a formula. If you see that formula, you will find there is a ordering cost per order, holding cost per duration, per year or something, and there is the annual demand also. So these three terms are there. Lead time is not there. So if you see the formula, you will understand that if the ordering cost increases, then economic order quantity also increases. So if ordering cost increases, the number of to place more orders, it costs you more. To minimize this, should larger quantity you should place order, and resulting in high economic order quantity. Okay, so these all questions you can answer on the basis of the formula. So what happens when holding cost per unit increases? Just see the formula of economic order quantity and you can answer this question. What is the assumption in that? Demand is constant, that is the assumption. So annual demand is constant throughout the year, that is the assumption. Economic order quantity, how you define that as a concept in inventory management? So optimum order quantity for a company to minimize total cost, that is how it is. So there are two kind of cost in the inventory. One is ordering cost, another is carrying or holding cost. This is also called carrying cost. So ordering cost means how much transportation cost it will incur, raising the order, how much it will cost. So approaching vendor, talking to vendor. So this entire, the cost associated with putting an order is called ordering cost. And holding cost is nothing but carrying cost. So the rent you pay for the storage, insurance which the items you have kept, the insurance which you pay for that, and any kind of obsolescence, opportunity cost, loss, that is also holding cost. So if suppose you have purchased something but now it is no customer is purchasing it because now it is outdated and the new model has come. So if you already purchased lot of items and now it is obsolete, so the loss is holding cost. So this is very, very important, that these two are basically holding cost. So obsolescence cost, opportunity cost of capital tied up. Like मैंने एक कार का शोरूम खोला, I have car showroom and I purchased 5 different models because that car manufacturer has 5 different models. One model is costing 25 lakh, another is costing 15 lakh, then 10 lakh. So if I want to show my customer all the models, I need to keep all these car models with me. So that is the opportunity cost, right, which is tied up. Now economic order formula is this. So under root of 2D/S by H, annual demand for item, ordering cost per order, holding cost per year. That is under root of this, that is economic order quantity. So if you see the units, you will find out how it works. So we need to place an order such that there is a trade-off between ordering cost and holding cost. So we need to minimize the total cost, right? Now what is the assumptions of economic order quantity model? There is a demand is constant and cost, constant, ordering and holding cost will remain constant. So there is no discount and instantaneous replenishment. The moment I place the order, replenishment is done, that is the immediate replenishment. So question can come from assumptions of economic order quantity also. So now in Bharat Electronics Ltd BEL, the kind of questions previous years they have asked, the questions are straightforward, they are not very ticklish question. So but yes, some knowledge is required for that. So what is the limitation of economic order quantity model? So it is, the assumptions are very simplified, because like demand will remain throughout the year same. That is a very simplified assumption. So on the basis of those assumptions, our analysis may not be correct. And where the demand is changing, fluctuations is there, this may not work. Now let's talk about, friends, what is ABC analysis. Now ABC analysis is nothing but entire inventory items we categorize into A type, B type, C type. I give you example of such items at home. A items are very less in number but very costly, and maximum inventory management should be done focused on A item. Like cash or jewelry at home is very costly, though it is less in number, and you need to maintain it within the almirah or lock or something. You need to protect it. So inventory management is very important for that. A type. C type is like maximum in number, but value is very less. Number is maximum. Like your clothes, shoes, vegetables, that is C type of item. B item is between these two, like your laptop, mobile, that is a B item. So A item, B item, C item, all inventories. So classify inventory based upon their value, that very costly, less costly, that is A, B, C. So A items are very less in number, very costly but less in number. So what is typical A time? Cost is very high and quantity is very less. Quantity is very low, cost is very less, and highest inventory management is required for that. Highest inventory management, I am saying, not inventory management, that means to take care of it. A item, you need to incur lot of investment. Highest value item is A item, as I told you. So ABC analysis helps you to focus on inventory control effort on the most critical items. Most critical items are A items. A items are the most critical items. Why? Because they are requiring maximum effort. That is called most critical items. Similar to ABC analysis is the Pareto analysis. So what is the another name of Pareto analysis is 80-20 rule. It says that 80% of the effect come from 20% of the causes. 80% of the wealth is with the 20% of the rich people in the world, right? 80% of the problem is because of these 20% of the issues. 80% of the good things will come from 20% of these things which we are doing. So 80-20 rule is that, right? 80% belongs to these 20%. That is the meaning of it. So how is Pareto analysis typically visualized? It is a bar chart with cumulative frequency. It is very, very important. Bar chart with cumulative frequency. So this is the Pareto chart. Typically it will look like this. Typically it will look like this. Something like that. So let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the things and their impact. So thing number 1 has impact 50%. Then this 30%. So then 10%, 5%. So we keep on adding. 30 plus 50 plus 30 is 80. 80 plus 15 is 95. 95 plus 3 is 98. Something like that. So cumulative chart, right? And these are the item. This we are studying. So there are 5 factors which are responsible for the growth of my business. 5 factors which are responsible for growth of my business. Factor number 1 has 50% contribution. Factor number 2 has 30% contribution. So 80% of the contribution is coming from 2 out of these 5. Only 2 out of these 5, right? So 80% is coming from only 20% of the things. Like out of 10 factors, suppose there are 10 factors and 2 factors are contributing to the 80%, something like that. So bar chart भी होती है और cumulative frequency भी होती है. Optimum order quantity नहीं करता इसमें. Most frequent cause of defect. Prioritizing customer complaint. So why customer is complaining? Sales across different product lines. So ABC analysis inventory management technique है, which categorize the inventory into A type, B type, C type items. So I told you what is A type item, which are high value but minimum in number. B is middle and C is maximum number. How it goes? A type, B type, C type. A type product 80%, 20%. Right. So A type item is maximum in value and minimum in number. Somewhere you will find Pareto analysis and ABC matching here. Right. So you have to classify. Benefit is like we prioritize the things. Effort, how much effort for inventory management is required, that we prioritize. resource allocation can be very nicely done, and inventory, basically more inventory of high value things can be more frequently purchased rather than keeping in inventory. So overall, the purpose of ABC analysis of the inventory is to manage the inventory properly. 20% of your product in A class, but highest value and maximum inventory management is required here. So frequent order must be placed for A item. Go for frequent orders. For this item, go for frequent orders, and that should be just in time. So just in time should be applicable for A type, B type or C type. Answer is A type के ऊपर हमें just in time we should do, because we cannot purchase it and keep it with us because they are very costly. So A type of items are very costly, we cannot purchase, so we should frequently place the order for this. And this we can put the order, I mean we can accumulate it, because they are less in value and management is not, inventory management is not costly for that. 80-20 rule. Small percentage of cause, large percentage of effect. 20% cause lead to 80% of effect. That is 80-20 rule or Pareto analysis. So that 80% of the revenue is coming from 20% of the customer. In any company, 20% of the employees are contributing to 80% of the revenue of that particular company. So what type of chart is used to visualize Pareto analysis? So bar chart with cumulative frequency. There is a bar chart and then there is a cumulative frequency. So as I can show you in the diagram also, which one is not the application? So that means A, B and D are analysis. Optimum order quantity is not done. Most critical issues, if we want to find out which are impacting the productivity. Improve the customer satisfaction by focusing on most frequent customer complaints, and to optimize inventory level by identifying the most valuable inventory items. This all is done with Pareto analysis. So let us say this x-axis is the factors. So let us say there are 10 factors, 1, 2, 3 and this is the 10th factor. Now this has 60% and this has 20%. So 60 plus 20 is 80. So 80% of the effect is due to 20%, 2 items out of 10, 20% of the factor. So 20% factor, 2 factor out of 10, 20% of the factor are leading to 80% of the effect, right? So let us say there are 10 employees, employee number 1 is contributing to 60% of the growth, employee number 2 is contributing to 20% of the growth, employee number 3 is contributing. There is a reason salary of the CEO is so high, even salary flows in this. CEO, the salary, maximum salary is 60% of the salary goes to CEO, because contribution is also proportional. So this is 80-20 rule, and it works in business, quality control, time management. There are many domains in which it works. Right. So this is the Pareto chart. So there are vital few, only couple of employees are important. This is all trivial. Utna important nahi hai. The contribution is not that important, but they are very important. So contribution is high. This is the business basically impact. So visual representation, graph chart, line graph. So there are two kind of things. Cumulative frequency is represented by the cumulative, additional is line graph, and then there is a bar graph. What are the applications of Pareto principles? These all are applications. So 80-20 rule works everywhere. This is a very good image. 20% effort leads to 80% of the result. These 20% are important, which is giving 80% result. These 80% employees are giving only 20% of the result. So the 80% employees are not important. These 20% employees are important. What is break even point? Now friends, break even point is the point where there is neither profit nor loss. You know, there is a sale, there is a revenue. For any organization, there is a sale, there is a revenue. If sales and revenue become equal, the profit is zero, neither profit nor loss. If sale is more than revenue, there is a profit, like blue, there is a loss in red. So there comes a stage in the business or in any organization where the loss and profit are equal, and that is called break even. Sales of the company is equal to revenue. Now which of the following is not the key component of break even analysis? So you know, market share is not there. There is a fixed cost, variable cost, because fixed and variable cost totally gives you the total cost, and revenue is different. Rent is a fixed cost, and there is a variable cost also, like whatever per quantity you are doing, that is a variable cost. So fixed cost plus the variable cost gives you the total cost. So variable plus fixed. So maybe if you can draw the variable also from here. So this particular thing is a variable cost. If you draw it at this point, this will look like this. This is a fixed cost, and variable plus fixed becomes the total cost, and this is the total revenue. And at this point, revenue and total cost is equal. So increase in the break even point, obviously if increase the fixed cost. If you increase the fixed cost, total cost will increase, and total revenue I am assuming is to be same, so obviously break even will take time. Now break even can be defined in two ways, in terms of number of quantities. Just suppose I sell 10 product, my break even will come. It can be number in terms of value of business, like 1 crore turnover. I will achieve my total sale is 1 crore. That means 1 crore revenue, not revenue, that is turnover. If I say 1 crore revenue, also you can say sale if it is equal to revenue roughly. So then you can say this is 1 crore turnover, 1 crore revenue is giving me break even, neither profit nor loss. How does decrease in variable cost affect break even point? If the variable cost decrease, then break even point also decreases. What is margin of safety? Margin of safety is the difference between actual sale and break even sale. So see this diagram. Margin of safety means I am sitting at quite safe zone. Even if my sales reduces, this is the margin of safety in terms of value, in terms of rupee, or in terms of quantity. So in terms of quantity, this is the break even point. So margin of safety in terms of quantity can also be there. So in terms of quantity, or in terms of cost, quantity and cost, in terms of quantity or in terms of cost, you can see in either of these two. So I mean in rupees, so 2 lakh is my margin of safety, or 20 products is my margin of safety, 20 products is my margin of safety, or 2 lakh is my margin of safety. Anything, it can be defined in two ways. That means how far I am sitting from break even point. At the break even point, you are having neither profit nor loss. At the break even, you have neither profit nor loss. Farther you are from break even, जितना तुम break even से दूर हो, you are having more margin, you are safe. Why? Because even if your production decreases little bit, so you are far from break even. Suppose you are sitting very close to break even, you will shift over to loss. This side is loss, this side is profit. So 20 items pay, your break even is achieved. And how many you are selling? 40. That means in particular month, even if your sale is less, you will not go in losses. That is the meaning of it. So margin of safety. What is break even point? Total revenue equal to total cost, neither profit nor loss. Key component: fixed cost, variable cost, selling price. Break even point is basically fixed. This is how you calculate break even point. Fixed cost divided by selling price minus variable cost per unit. So This is the break-even quantity. This is how you calculate. Fixed cost over selling price minus V. F is the fixed cost. Per unit selling price is S. Per unit variable cost is V. Right? So if you see the units of this, 10 rupees per unit is the sale. Variable is 5 rupee per unit. And fixed cost is 50 rupees. The 50 rupees is fixed cost, rupee per unit, 10 minus 5. So that means 10 units. Rupee gets cancelled with rupee and per unit. That means 10 unit is my break even. I am producing 10 unit and per unit sale is 10 rupee and per unit, you know, this your variable cost is 5 rupee. This is how it is calculated. So these are all advantages and significance of break even point. This is how it is calculated. Now what is safety stock? Safety stock is your in the inventory which you keep with you as a buffer. If there is unexpected demand or supply, it will minimize the risk of stock out. If demand varies, lead time variability is there, supply disruption is there, so you should have some safe buffer. And there are many factors which decide safety stock. At one place we are talking about just in time, that we should not have any inventory or minimum inventory. Other side we are talking about the safety stock. So just in time is inventory is minimum. Lead time variability, service level, cost of stock out. Right, so this is how you calculate the safety stock. Right, so when your inventory is reducing, there is a point at which you should place the reorder, and safety stock is minimum stock you should keep with you so that it should not go, you know, minimum stock which you can keep with you. This is the safety stock. You should keep safety stock like this. Let's say quantity 10, this is quantity, let's say 50, this is maximum is 100. So every time when you replenish, immediate replenish, this is the replenish. That means again you got the supply. The moment you got supply, your supply reached 100. Then you consumed. The moment it becomes 50, you place the order. The moment you place the order and replenishment come, that is the lead time. So lead time is the time taken between the ordering, reorder to replenishment. Replenishment is sudden, तो उसमें ये लीड टाइम चाहिए, तब तक भी कंज्यूम होगा. तो कितने ऑर्डर, कितने यूनिट रह जाएं कि मैं ऑर्डर देना पड़ेगा 50 यूनिट पे. जैसे ऑर्डर दे दूंगा कितना हो जाएगा 100. ये 10 मिनिमम मेरे को रखना चाहिए, 10 से नीचे नहीं जाना चाहिए. तो दिस इज हाउ दिस इज देयर. सेफ्टी स्टॉक इज 10. Lead time is this. Time between placing an order and receiving the order. This is how it is calculated. So reorder point, lead time, safety stock, these are very, very important, and I hope you got this particular thing clear. So why safety stock? What is the purpose of safety stock? It is a buffer against the unexpected fluctuation in demand and supply. Which of the following factor does not influence the level of safety stock? Demand variability, lead time variability, all the variability will affect. Service level requirement also. Level of safety stock. Order quantity will not decide that. So what is lead time? Time taken between placing an order and receiving it. When you place the order and with the supplier, and when the order is actually received from the supplier. How do you calculate it? This is B is the formula. Average usage into lead time plus safety stock. Safety stock, every day your consumption is 10. 10 item per day you are consuming. Lead time is 5 days. 10 into 5 days, 50 items will be consumed, plus safety stock is 10. So 60 is your reorder point, as we calculated, right? Obviously, if lead time variability increases, then reorder point also increases. Now, forecasting methods are of two types, friends, qualitative and quantitative. We have two types of forecasting methods, right? Qualitative is, Delphi method is a very important subjective or qualitative method. Forecasting means to find out what can be the demand. Delphi method is a qualitative method, matlab it is a discussion brainstorming method where you ask the expert, ask them questionnaire, give them questionnaire and discuss with them, and experts of particular domain, they will tell what they think. That is called Delphi method. It's a qualitative technique. Moving average is using the historical data. That is quantitative technique. What is the key characteristic of qualitative forecasting method? Quantitative method is based upon historical data, like moving average methods and all. For moving average method, you must have data, but suppose you don't have historical data. So something new product you are launching for which you do not have data, then only thing is qualitative. You need to do survey, you need to ask some expert. That is a Delphi technique. Is iterative method, Delphi, that is a iterative method. So what is the limitation of qualitative forecasting method? It depends upon the subjective opinion of the people and the judgment, which may be having bias. So what is the advantage of quantitative forecasting method? It does not depend upon subjective judgment. It uses statistics, mathematics. What is the primary objective of moving average method in forecasting? Whenever you take average out, then fluctuations are taken care of, and you can smooth out short term fluctuations. I give you a small example. Suppose in particular month, this is the demand going on, like this is the fluctuation you can see in the demand. First month, suppose I tell you first month demand is 10 items, second month 15, third 65, fourth 12, fifth 15. Can you see this? Now there is a sudden fluctuation in third month. It may be like some season, some festive season. Now when I take 5 months average, then this fluctuation is taken care of, smooth out the effect of this fluctuation. So average method always help you to smooth out the fluctuation or the recent trends. That is, the short term fluctuations are taken care of. More the period of moving average, better it is. Simple moving average means all the items are given equal weightage. When you take the average, there is a weighted average also. So simple moving average is not a weighted average. Long moving average period, if you take large period, so trend is not taken care of. Suppose I took 5 month average in the example I gave you. If I take 3 months average, so trend is focused. So if you don't want to consider the trend or fluctuation, then take larger period of moving average. Right? Which of the following is not a common application of moving average method? So moving average are more suitable for short term to medium term forecasting. Long term predictions, complex economic trends basically are not taken care of this. So long term economic growth के लिए moving average is not there. You have couple of periods like 3 months, 5 months. You do not have 5 years. Long term के लिए नहीं होता ये short term and medium term के लिए. How many number of periods affecting the moving average? Increase the number of periods, it becomes more smooth and less responsive to recent change. Very important. I gave you example of if it is 3 month moving average, then 65 fluctuation will be arrested. So that fluctuation of 65 will be more visible. So trend can be reflected, fluctuation can be reflected if it is less duration of moving average. Which of the following is not a qualitative forecasting technique? Time series is quantitative. So time series means plotting the data. So you have to plot the data, that is time series. Trend, cyclic, irregular. In time series, there are values, and on the basis of data you basically project. So previous data should be there. Previous data you have and that you project on the time series, something like that. So prediction or forecasting you are not doing on time series, that you project later on. So ratio to trend method basically is used for seasonal variation, because seasonal variation can be because of the trend. Right. So greatest smoothing effect, how you get it? Exponential smoothing with small weight value. That means you give less weight to the very recent trends. So exponential method होता है और उसमें आप जो weight देते हो वो कम देते हो. That means you are not giving much weight to the recent trends. That is the most smoothing effect, greatest smoothing effect. Exponential smoothing with small weight value. In exponential smoothing, recent observations are given relatively more weight in forecasting than old observation. Barometric method is used for cyclic variation. So meteorological people weather forecasting के लिए वो use करते हैं barometric method. And mercury used in barometer, you are already aware. Cyclic variations, because weather is cyclic, right? Summer, winter, then there is a cycle. So the barometric method, just remember, barometer is used by mercury moving within the barometer, that is to know the temperature or something, or pressure or something. So you find out the meteorological cyclic variation through barometer, and same is used in the economy also to know the cycles. So what is forecasting? It is a method to predict about the future situation, trend, pattern, many things. It can be qualitative, it can be quantitative. Qualitative is individual judgment for which historical data is not available. Method can be Delphi or market research, survey, interview, other groups. Quantitative forecasting on the other hand is based upon historical data. Example of quantitative is time series, like moving average. Moving average has different time period, less time period, more time period. If more time period is there, then smoothing effect is more. Exponential smoothing gives more weightage to recent data. Then trend projections Casual methods are also there, like regression analysis and all. So these all are quantitative methods. Delphi method on the other hand is, you are based upon expert opinion on particular topic, they are expert in that topic. So there are series of iterative rounds of the questionnaire, that is called Delphi method. What are the key characteristics? You will not, your opinion will not be open, you will give anonymous, so you will not influence others. Iteration, one after another. It is long duration, and they are given next questionnaire on the basis of their first opinion. Panel of expert is to be selected, questionnaire is to be selected, feedback and revision is to be done, you have to repeat. So it's a long method. Time consuming, depends upon expert judgment, and there is a biasing also sometime. What is moving average? Simple, time series forecasting. You choose particular specific data and predict the future on the basis of the previous. Simple moving average means fixed number of past point data. Simple moving average, you are not giving any weightage to any particular data. Past 3 months, equal weightage. Past 3 months, past 5 months, past 10 months, anything, but it is not very long duration. Weighted means you are giving high weight to recent value or something, or you are giving weight to some particular data, different weight to different data. Normally more weight is given to recent data to capture the trend. What is the advantage of moving average? It is simple to calculate, and more the duration, it will smooth out the fluctuation. Trend it cannot capture, and trend it cannot capture, that means it is not responsive also. Okay, life cycle cost analysis. What is the primary objective? To calculate the total cost of ownership over entire lifespan of an asset. So life cycle human being का नहीं, किसी asset का, किसी product का, car, life cycle of a car, let us say. So life cycle within its operation duration, what is the life cycle? We know this is the life cycle, like petrol car has life cycle of 15 years, diesel has 10 years, let us say. We identify, manufacturer will decide this is the life cycle. Asset, building, bridge, this is the life of this bridge. Now during that life cycle, what is the total cost it will incur to you? So total cost of ownership, all cost associated with an asset. What is not included in it? Market share of competing product, purchase, at what cost you purchased, what is the operating cost on that, maintenance cost on that. These are the typical maintenance and operating cost on that. Suppose I purchased a car in 5 lakh 10 years back, how much service I did on that. So उसके ऊपर कितना सर्विस कॉस्ट लगा, मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट लगा, ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट लगा, वो सारा ऐड करेंगे. Cost analysis and life cycle cost analysis, how they are different. So if you consider the cost over entire life cycle, is a life cycle cost analysis. Traditional cost analysis is initial cost. Like if you say how much this is costing you, you should not see a product only. जैसे आप गाड़ी लेते हो ना, इसका ये initial cost only is not to be seen. Whenever you purchase a car, you should not only see its initial cost. You should also see what is the running cost, diesel, petrol. Why people prefer diesel cars? Because diesel is cheaper, so running cost is less. But you know, maintenance cost of diesel is more. So when you start talking about maintenance cost, operating cost, then you are talking about the life cycle cost. Actually, you are talking about how this product is going to behave during its life cycle. Why do you do, life cycle analysis? So that we reduce the long-term operating cost. Cost saving you want to do. Example I gave you of the car. So you should have a accurate data with you to make the analysis. So what is life cycle cost analysis, friends? So how much is it total costing you to own it or operate it, the asset? Cost associated with end of life disposal of asset like recycling, demolition, environmental cleanup, that also is a disposal cost. Operating cost, maintenance cost, disposal cost. So life cycle cost analysis, all these costs are to be added, even disposal cost, operating cost, maintenance cost, acquisition at which you purchased, and disposal cost. The purpose is overall cost should be less to us. Building, construction, manufacturing, environmental project, environmental impact assessment you do, because you should know, abhi, whenever you produce electronic item, now the responsibility is on the manufacturer to dispose of it properly. The companies are to pay heavy price otherwise. So that is life cycle cost analysis. Monte Carlo simulation, what is this? It's a computational technique actually, and it does random sampling, repeated random sampling to find out the probability of certain outcome in a process which cannot be otherwise predicted. So number one, Monte Carlo is a simulation or computational technique. The sample is taken as a random sample and it is taken repeated sample. So different set of inputs, random inputs are given so that we find out the output. Range of potential results are seen. How does it work? Uncertain variables are identified in the system and we see the uncertainty associated with it. Probability distribution is chosen, particular, random inputs are generated, simulation is run, analyze the result. Basically, when we want to find out some result for which we don't have much idea, about certain things, then we go for these kind of statistical or mathematical techniques. We want to go for it. So what we do is like, simulation or mathematics we do when things are not there, historical data is not there, and we want to make sense of something in future. The trend is highly variable, then we go for it. Application, all the fields, engineering, project management, finance, सब जगह Monte Carlo simulation use होता है. So what is the core principle? To use random sample to model probability of various outcomes. So we want different kind of outcomes on the basis of repeated random sampling. We generate random inputs to simulate, to find out the result, different kind of outcomes. What is not the step in Monte Carlo simulation? Run a single simulation to determine most likely outcome. No. Uncertain variables we identify and probability distribution we identify, and multiple simulations we conduct. That is the beauty of it. So we want to find out all sort of options, Weather prediction is not Monte Carlo. It's not normally used. What is the benefit of Monte Carlo simulation? Complex system. Multiple variables are there. We want to have potential outcomes. Uncertainty is to be identified. So Monte Carlo में से questions आया है. So there are certain topics which I am giving you, which I am asking you to go for it because BEL के साथ उनका relation है. So some question have been asked from that. Hence you should be very, very clear about this. Financial options, spread of disease, risk of a natural disaster, designing a new product. Initial design phase में you don't use Monte Carlo simulation. When you have lot of variables, when you design a new product, maybe you do not have many variables with you. Monte Carlo simulation is used on those particular analysis where you have lot of input variables, and you want to vary this and see what is the result coming. Linear programming, why you go for it? To find out the optimum solution. If I give you linear constraints, what is the optimum value, maximum or minimum objective function we have, and some constraints we have. So if I give you some kind of variable and some kind of constraints and ask you to optimize the solution, then you make use of linear program. And linear because it is a single degree variation. Which of the following is not a key component of linear programming problem? Decision variable is there, objective function is there, constraints are there. What is feasible region? Set of all possible solutions satisfying the constraints. Where does the optimum solution come? Within the feasible region. Optimum solution means either maximum or minimum of the objective function, you know that. Why simplex method is used? When the variables are more than 2. Solving linear programming problems with more than 2 variables, simplex method is used. What is the primary purpose of simplex method? When more than 2 variables are there. It is iterative algorithm to solve linear programming problem with multiple variable. Graphically you cannot solve it. You know, he will give you a simplex table and ask you that typically evaluation row will look like what in the optimum table, simplex table, optimum table, how it will look like. So those kind of questions he can give you. Cj minus Zj row will be reduced cost for each non-variable basic variable. Negative value in this row simply means the objective function cannot be improved. If the final simplex table, suppose this row is negative or 0, what is the meaning of that? That means now optimum solution has come. So please, when mentors will discuss with you simplex table, try to understand what is the meaning of each thing. Like when the optimum solution has come, multiple optimal solution have come, yeah, your solution is not feasible, you should know that. So Cj minus Zj rows are negative or 0, that means no more improvement, optimum solution has come. If it is positive, then means yes, you can do it. Right hand side column क्यों होता है? Constraints, constant terms in the constraints, right? Constant terms. What is linear programming problem? I discussed with you. It has a decision variable, it has objective function. Decision variable, what you want to find out. Objective function is what you want to optimize. It can be maximum, it can be minimum. Constraints are, you know, like limitations. This is a typical example of decision variable, objective function and constraints. Constraints are linear. There are 2 variables and limitation on resources. So resource limitation is basically this. Where do you use linear programming? Production planning, transportation, all these applications. Now what is PERT and CPM, friends? Full name, Program Evaluation and Review Technique, Critical Path Method. They are network techniques of the project management. The entire project is shown as group of activities starting from initial event to last event. The project is combination of activities and those are shown by network diagrams, PERT and CPM. Critical path. Critical path is the longest path. Path is longest, but the duration of that path gives you minimum time which is required to complete a project. So understand the critical path definition. Longest path on the network diagram. There are many paths from initial to final event. There are many routes. Longest is critical path. this is the shortest time in which you can think of completing all the activities in a project. Less than that is not possible unless until you crash it, which cost you more, which cost you. Now, slack and float on critical path are 0. So, what is slack and what is float we will discuss. On critical path it is 0. PERT is used for new activities, probabilistic model it is. In their names you should remember. CPM is like deterministic model. The time duration used in CPM already we know the time, so expected duration can be calculated. PERT may we need to think of 3 estimate times: optimistic, pessimistic, most likely. From these 3 we calculate activity time. On CPM we know exactly what is the activity time. So, if project has more uncertainty, then go for PERT. It is a probabilistic model. CPM is deterministic model, and this tells you the difference between the two. So, 3 time estimate in PERT are most likely, pessimist and optimist times. Both PERT and CPM are using the network diagrams, and resource allocation is done for both. So, starting event to end event, the longest path is this. So, activity will be shown as arrow, duration will be given to that. So, longest time. What is activity, what is event, what is network diagram, right? So, those slack is calculated for event and float is calculated for activity on the basis of the timings. So, this is the activity for which float will be calculated. Different kind of float, free float, total float, interference float, right? Those kind of floats are there. And slack is calculated for events. So, tail event, head event and activity. So, these are the network diagrams for project management. So, how do you define critical path is like this, longest sequence of activities and the minimum time required to complete entire project. So, there are 2 things, don't get confused. Minimum time in which you can complete the entire project, it is the longest duration, longest path on the network diagram. 0 slack, 0 float. If critical path activity gets delayed, then entire project gets delayed by the same duration. If the critical path gets delayed, entire project gets delayed. How many types of floats are there and what is the float? Float is the duration by which one particular activity can be delayed. One particular activity can be delayed, that is the float. Total float means total time by which activity can be delayed. So, there are certain times like late start, late finish, early finish. There are 4 kind of times: early start, early finish, late finish. Total float is late start minus early start, late start of an activity minus early start, or late finish minus early finish. So, through one example I will discuss with you in one of the examples, and I will discuss with you this. Free float is early finish of activity minus early start of an immediate successor. I will discuss this particular floats. If you have not done, through one question I will discuss with you, otherwise it will not be very clear. Independent float. Similarly, there are 4 kind of floats. That means how much I can particular activity. And PERT CPM, we have entire video on PERT CPM. You should see this. So, BEL Mech typically what kind of questions can come, that we are explaining, where you have to focus, but you should see the PERT CPM video to understand this thoroughly. Right. So, whenever I give you one activity, an event, let us say starting event, and this is the activity. So, 2, 6, 12, 18, and this take 5 days. Activity time is 5 days. So, starting from I to J, and their timings are mentioned here: early start, late start, early finish, late finish. Difference between these two: 18 minus 2 minus 5, 11. This is the total float. Now, this total float minus 4, 6 minus 2 minus 4, that becomes free float. Similarly, this interference float, difference keeps on calculating. That is how we do it. So these 4 time, early start, late start, early finish, late finish, these are 4 time estimates and the activity time. On the basis of that, we calculate 4 type of floats. Remember, BEL may he ask you question from float. What are the nodes representing? Events. Events or nodes are same thing. So 3 activity, 3 time estimate, optimistic, pessimistic, most likely. It is used in probabilistic model of PERT. Longest path is critical path. Significance is, it tells you where most important machine and manpower should be put. Basically, it is a float. Slack is calculated for event. Dummy activities shows the dependency between activities. They are the ghost activities, just to fulfill the dependency or some kind of, the precedence relationship. After A should be B, after B should be C. That dependency or precedence is completed by dummy activities in case it is not getting completed. Pessimistic time is the maximum time, and then similarly maximum time available and actual time needed to perform activity is called total float, as I give you the example now. Okay, this we have done. What is the difference between PERT and CPM? PERT is used for those projects which are not very certain. Probabilistic model is required for that. For R&D, what you will use? R&D projects are not very certain projects, so you can use PERT for that. So slack and float are 0 on critical path. Lot of slack means I can reach due lead. Slack is calculated for particular event I 4 7. What is slack for this event? 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. So late start minus early start. Latest I can start this activity. This is activity A. I can earliest start this activity after 4 days or latest after 7 days. Difference of these two gives me slack. So slack on critical path is 0. So I think friends, these are 60 pages with the 100 plus question. I will give you another for industrial engineering, another 60-70 pages with the same 100 questions. I think these 200-250 questions for industrial engineering will give you an idea what kind of question in your BEL exam can come. Do the same thing for other subjects also. This is how you have to prepare for BEL, and go for these marathon question series which are on previous years क्वेश्चन बेसिस एंड एक्चुअल व्हाट यू कैन गेट इन योर एग्जाम. सो उसको रिवाइज करो, ये डॉक्यूमेंट ले लो एंड प्लीज रिवाइज इट. सी द सेकंड पार्ट ऑल्सो.